CBS Sports presents the Verizon Halftime Report.
And welcome back to our New York studio and the Verizon Halftime Report. I'm James Brown alongside Tony, Coach Bart, and Boomer. Playoff implications in the first half.
Yeah, you go right here, watch Andy Dalton. He's going to fake this handoff to Jeremy Hill, keep him himself 20 yards, and they lead at half 14-10.
All right, nice game going on down in Miami, guys, between Ryan Tannehill and Joe Flacco. Tannehill's going to find Brian Hartline right here at 3 yards, going to sneak the ball right in there. They're going to take a 10-0 lead. Flacco comes back, finds Steve Smith 1 yard out, gets it a little bit closer, 10-7 halftime.
Nip and tuck.
Yeah, you're going to see right here Isaiah Crowell in the running game take us from 9 yards out. The defense has got a sack and touchdown for the Cleveland Browns as they lead over Indianapolis 14-7.
Cleveland once in.
Well, the Texans out the Jaguars. Houston needs to win this game if they're going to keep their playoff hopes alive. But Blake Bortles is getting it down here, rolling out. Here's the 4-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Allen Hurns. Bortles 11 of 20 so far. Jaguars up 13-10.
Tell you what, Geno Smith picking up right where he left off. First play from scrimmage.
First play.
Intercepted by Gerald Hodges, who returns it 27 yards for the touchdown. Yes, sir. Minnesota up 21-15.
This is an interesting game. Can somebody tell me what's going on with the New Orleans Saints?
Wow.
And how about Cam Newton doing what I used to do back in the day? Yeah, right? I don't think so. But I'll tell you what, I did not do this. He's doing his Superman thing. You know, they got a losing record. Obviously, they're going to take issue with it. If you are in New Orleans, there's a fracas going on here, JB. And you can see right here that Brandon Williams, tight end for Carolina, is going to be ejected.
Losing record in one game out of first.
Matthew Stafford finds Kelvin Megatron Johnson back of the end zone 6 yards out as they lead Tampa Bay 17-10.
That is interesting, Bart.
The St. Louis Rams at the Washington Redskins. You're going to see Sean Hill. He's going to drop back. He's going to hit Jared Cook. He's going to do the rest, take it 35 yards for the touchdown. He did leave with a head injury in that first quarter. But big story here, Greg Zuerlein, otherwise known as Legatron, kicker for the Rams.
Giants.
He's missed 2 field goals.
Wow.
Not bad, Tony. Giants at Tennessee. Right here, Mettenberg's going to be brought down and sacked by Devon Kennard, who Marcus Coon picks it up. Oh, I love to see the big man run. Big man takes it in 26 yards. Giants up 20-0.
Call that run.
Odell Beckham right now, 6 games over.
Would you say all that
90
running,
yards?
I said you call that running?
We call that laboring.
Laboring.
Hey,
Marcus Coon, by the way.
the big fella that is running. Hey, and the Verizon Halftime Report will continue after this.
CBS Sports presents the Verizon Halftime Report. Download NFL Mobile exclusively from Verizon. New Thursday, the swingin' dads meet the single moms.
It's been so long since I've kissed a man.
Oh, I wish I could say the same thing.
New 2.5 Men. Then, BuzzFeed says do yourself a favor and check it out.
Just regular TV or Nescafe? He means Netflix.
The McCarthys after 2.5 Men. All new CBS Thursday. Get the Verizon Halftime Report live online every Sunday, only from Verizon. Visit cbssports.com/Verizon.
This is where Peyton and Eli came out to play.
This is where Cam played.
Up this driveway is where JJ played.
This is the park where Johnny Unitas played. And this is where Jim Kelly and Dan Marino and Victor Cruz all played. Can you come out to play?
Every kid's got to play. 60 minutes a day, every day. NFL plays 60.
Sunday plans can always include football. Stream live local Sunday NFL games on NFL Mobile, exclusively from Verizon.
Week 15 in the league begins with an NFC West Division rivalry featuring the Cardinals at the Rams. Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. As we welcome you back to Studio 43 and the Verizon Halftime Report. Time now for our Thursday night preview. What are you expecting in this matchup?
Well, I think you look at the first game, Arizona won it handily against the St. Louis Rams, but this time the Rams are playing very well under Sean Hill. A little up and down at times, but they're playing much better than earlier in the season. And right now, the Arizona Cardinals are reeling. just holding on to that playoff hopes. This should be a good game.
Out of all the teams outside of the playoffs, the Rams are the one team that I would not want to be playing this time of year. The reason for that is their defensive line. They are all over smothering other quarterbacks. Listen, Peyton Manning went into St. Louis and struggled. We saw what that was like. So I can't imagine that Drew Stanton's going to have much luck against this defense.
I tell you what, my hat's off to Jeff Fisher. He can flat out coach. He's inspiring these guys. He has them playing with a lot of energy.
He'll get them to 500.
I tell you what, he has these guys playing well. And I wouldn't want to play these guys late in the season. With that pass rush attack, Jeff Fisher deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, and another coach that's doing really well, too, is Bruce Arians. He's having a good season as well. But they are on the verge. He doesn't inspire like him, though. But they are on the verge of a monumental collapse right now. If they don't get into the playoffs this year, starting out 9-1, Drew Stanton has to play better. It's going to be tough because Robert Quinn is looking like the reigning NFL defensive player. Chris Long coming back. It's going to be a good matchup.
It seems like you guys are trying to drag Coach out into a comment of some sort. All right, the Verizon halftime report continues.
And he didn't bring it.
Don't miss the season premiere of Mike and Molly, CBS this Monday after Two Broke Girls.
Do you really believe you're the best?
Absolutely. They broke the mold when they made me.
You heard it here first. Richard Sherman, the best ever.
Is Richard Sherman the best football player of all time? He better walk.
Hey, best ever!
Best. Here come the best. Here he comes. Here come the best. I'm number 25.
Not again.
Son, you got a lot of heart, but there ain't nothing special about you.
Damon Wayans Jr.
I'll show you.
Is Richard Sherman.
I'll show everybody. I'm better than everyone!
It hits, picks, and life. Coming soon to a theater near.
The best? Are you kidding?
Richard, are you ready to take back what you said?
No, I have to believe I'm the best corner in the game, on the best defense.
He's the best! I'm the best ever!
And so you can see, like right here, I can just, check my policy here, add a car, speak to customer service, check on a claim, all with the tap of my Geico app.
Oh, that's so cool.
Well, I would disagree with you, but that would make me a liar.
No, dude, you're on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, I pretty much walked into that one.
Geico, anywhere, anytime. Just a tap away on the Geico app.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
We need a different conversation.
We need a new perspective.
We need to make history.
We need to talk. Tuesday at 9 on CBS Sports Network.
How could switchgrass in Argentina change engineering in Dubai, aluminum production in South Africa, and the aerospace industry in the U.S.? At T. Rowe Price, we understand the connections of a complex global economy. It's just one reason over 70% of our mutual funds beat their 10-year Lipper average. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing.
Fun first half to watch here at Minneapolis. 21-15, Vikings leading the Jets by 6. Spiro Dita, Solomon Wilcox with you here. NFL on CBS continuing. Geno Smith able to recover through the pick 6 on the first play from scrimmage. How does Geno and the Jets come back and win this game?
Well, I think they've got to stick with the running game because they've moved the ball very well. The 2 turnovers in the first half for the Jets have been costly. They've proven that they can move it by running the football, and Geno's looked really good going outside to his receivers. Now, the defense is going to have to step up and start making plays because Teddy Bridgewater has played well, but if you're Geno Smith, keep the train on the tracks. Don't try to operate outside the offense. Get the ball to your open receivers.
Time now to take a look at the Bose game changer. All kinds of fireworks. Geno Smith on the very first play from scrimmage. Pick 6. Gerald Hodges making a start for the injured Anthony Barr. And that is how the party got started here in Minneapolis. First half stats. Sally, how impressed were you with what the Jets did offensively?
No, I was very impressed with the fact that they had balance. Their first 15 plays on offense, they come in with them scripted, and they were really true to form. They had, 8 run plays, 7 pass plays. They were really good in terms of just maintaining balance, keeping this defense really from coming after their quarterback, Geno Smith. And so if you're Rex Ryan, you're going to continue to pound the run game, get the one-on-one opportunities. And what about Percy Harvin? He's been phenomenal in the early going of today's game.
Harvin, 3 catches, 97 yards, had a long touchdown reception from Smith, 35 yards out. And that's where we stand as we start the third quarter here at TCF Bank Stadium on the campus of the University of Minnesota. This is Cordero Patterson. Across the 25. Jets say they have the football. 22 yards on the return. And now they say Jets football. Every turnover subject to automatic review. You see TJ Graham holding the football for the Jets.
Recovered by the defense. First down, New York.
Wow. That ball is laying on the carpet for quite some time. Watch once Patterson's hit. See, ball is out, and he's not on the ground. So that's going to be fumble. The ball was loose, even though it was sort of cupped in his elbow. But you see how long the ball was there. Okay, see, the ball starts to come out prior to him hitting the ground. Even though it wasn't completely out, you could tell it was on its way out. And that's why, even after they take a look at it, I still think they're going to uphold the call on the field. And it was ruled a fumble. And you can see the ball was loose. It was moving. We'll wait and see when we come back.
We let you check 2 bags for free because you plan to look this good all week. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
Warm up your home and get the most stunning, lifelike colors with LG TVs. Expert service, unbeatable price, Best Buy.
To drive event from Acura.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the RDX.
Will Sheldon be touched by a holiday miracle?
You really do love her.
I do. Now let's find the kind of gift that makes her feel small and worthless.
A new Big Bang Theory, CBS Thursday.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
A fumble by Cordero Patterson on the opening kick of the second half, and now the call from Boger.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as a fumble. First down, New York.
All right, let's bring in our officiating expert from New York, Mike Carey. Mike, take us through that last play.
Well, guys, this is a 2-part review. The ruling is that if there's a fumble, there has to be a clear recovery. Watch the football right when the ball is coming, spins out of his hands, but it's really a subjective answer of was it loose or was it steady? And so that's why the ruling on the field stands in this situation.
All right, Mike, thanks. What a play by Bilal Powell, the backup running back for the Jets, and Trevor Riley, the 2 men who converged on the tackle as they keep it on the ground with Chris Ivory. So turnover, Sally, on consecutive plays for the Vikings. Keep in mind the Bridgewater pick, last play of the first half, and now the turnover by Patterson.
Yeah, now let's see if the Jets can capitalize, because the Vikings were able to take advantage of miscues and turnovers by the Jets in the early going of the game. They've got to be able to make up for it with this great field position.
This is 2nd and short, 1st down and more. Ivory bounces outside, still going like a battering ram down to the 5-yard line. That is a mean run from Chris Ivory, the 5th-year runner. 14 yards, bulldozing Mutterlin and Smith. 1st down and more.
Take a look off the right side. Willie Colon, 66, doing a really good job. He gets skinny in the hole, and then the speed and power to accelerate and finish off the run in and around the goal line.
Boy, when Ivory gets going downhill, he is a tough man to bring to the turf. Over 70 yards on the ground. Ivory taking on seemingly that entire front as they have him going backwards. And you saw that last graphic a moment ago. The Jets have had major issues, of course, overall offensively, but specifically, Sally, scoring touchdowns in the 3rd quarter of games this season.
Yeah, they've got to be able to power it. It's really about the run game for Rex Ryan's group when they get inside that 5-yard line. Could have had a touchdown earlier, but Chris Ivory fumbled down inside the 5-yard line. And so if you're Geno, if you're going to throw it, remember, things happen faster down inside the red zone.
Decker in motion, 2nd and goal. Smith tucks it away. Forward progress took him to the 4-yard line, and now a critical call to make for Marty Morningweg as Rex Ryan looks on. What do you do here if you're the Jets offensive coordinator?
Now remember, the last 2 plays were run plays. To me, I think you've got to give them a run look and then be able to isolate one-on-one on the outside, whether it's with Decker or whether it's with Percy Harvin or with Curley. Someone has to win outside against one-on-one coverage.
Decker split out, bottom of your picture. On 3rd and goal. Jets have been very good on 3rd down today. 5 of 8. Smith has time, throws end zone, incomplete. Off the hands of the tight end, Cumberland. Wasn't thrown perfectly by Geno, but he got the tight end on the hands. And that man breathing a sigh of relief. Patterson, the man who fumbled the kickoff.
85 is Cumberland. There he is right there. And now, the anticipation is that he was going to continue over the middle, but he stopped. See right there? That's why the ball's just a little bit outside, because the quarterback, Geno Smith, was anticipating Cumberland continuing to work away from coverage inside. That's just a miscommunication more than it is an inaccurate throw.
22-yard chip shot. Folk 2 for 2, hitting from 36, 33 earlier, and now from 22. So the Jets unable to punch it in, but they inch a little bit closer. Patterson stuck, and the Jets within 3 on CBS.
My name's Louie, and I quit smoking with Chantix. I had tried to do in the past. I hadn't been successful. Quitting smoking this time was different because I got a prescription for Chantix.
Along with support, Chantix varenicline is proven to help people quit smoking.
The fact that it reduced the urge to smoke helped me get that confidence that I could do it.
Some people had changes in behavior, thinking or mood, hostility, agitation, depressed mood, and suicidal thoughts or actions while taking or after stopping Chantix. Some people had seizures while taking Chantix. If you have any of these, stop Chantix and call your doctor right away. Tell your doctor about any history of mental health problems, which could get worse while taking Chantix, or history of seizures. Don't take Chantix if you've had a serious allergic or skin reaction to it. If you develop these, stop Chantix and see your doctor right away, as some can be life-threatening. Tell your doctor if you have a history of heart or blood vessel problems or develop new or worse symptoms. Get medical help right away if you have symptoms of a heart attack or stroke. Decrease alcohol use while taking Chantix. Use caution when driving or operating machinery. Common side effects include nausea, trouble sleeping, and unusual dreams.
I love myself as a non-smoker.
Ask your doctor if Chantix is right for you.
Hey, I'm Stretch Armstrong. Remember how pumped you were when you got me for the holidays? Well, feel that excited again with the new Honda Accord during Happy Honda Days. It comes with a rear-view camera and Pandora compatibility. Nice. And just look at all this space. Yeah, I still got it. Get something you'll love at the Happy Honda Days sales event, where all 2015 models come standard with a rear-view camera.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Honda, where you can get great deals during Happy Honda Days. And by FedEx One Rate, simple flat rate shipping with the reliability of FedEx.
.22-yard chip shot by Nick Folk. 6 plays, 22 yards. after the fumbled opening kickoff of the half by Patterson. And the Jets cut it to 3 early stages of this third quarter. Spiro Dita, and Wilcox, our producer Vic Frank, our director Chris Fenson, rest of our CBS crew. Patterson again bobbles it for a moment, takes a vicious hit at the 13, somehow still going. Boy, that may have rung his bell. Patterson 13 yards on the return, but boy, did he pay the price.
And boy, did he. He at least held on to the ball after finally securing it right there. Takes a lick, still holds on to the football.
That was Trevor Riley, the man who combined with Powell to cause that fumble by Patterson on the opening kickoff. Sally, the lights may have gone out for him as well.
Riley's making plays on special teams, that's for sure.
First and 10 inside the 15-yard line. This is Asiata. Second straight start after the Vikings had to shut down their running back Jerick McKinnon, placed him on injured reserve this week due to a back injury. Mike Zimmer making some tough decisions as this season nears its end. 4-yard run for Asiata.
Yeah, but some physical plays are being made right now by the New York Jets. They're making it a physical game. You can see the yardage output on offense. And right now, Teddy has got to get it going for the Minnesota Vikings offense.
Bridgewater, a very efficient first half. Here he is, play action, 2nd and 6. Pocket collapses. Bridgewater trying to pick up some positive yardage. Quentin Coples making the start today up front for the injured Mo Wilkerson. Bridgewater picks up a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up.
What did Mike Zimmer tell us about his young quarterback? He said, I watch Teddy Bridgewater every day in practice, and I just smile. He said, because he has tremendous work habits, and he said, every day in practice, every single pass, just about every one is complete. He said, the ball rarely hits the ground. Just about every day, only maybe 2 incompletions throughout a single practice. He said it's going to yield huge dividends as we move forward and he continues to develop.
Jets showing blitz, 3rd and 5, here they come. Bridgewater's going to tuck it away. Needed to get to the 24. Is short, and a late marker comes flying in. Demario Davis on the tackle. Bridgewater a yard short.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 56. Blow to the head of a sliding quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Remember, the officials rule on the act, not the aftermath. You may say, well, he didn't hit him that hard. But the quarterback did give himself up. Once he goes into a slide, you can't lead and make any contact with the helmet. Okay, and Z leads with his helmet, does Demario Davis. And once the quarterback gives himself up, you just got to let it go. You can touch him with your hands, but you can't lead with your helmet to try to tackle him.
You know, the contact was slight, but with Bridgewater so vulnerable, that's a dangerous play. You saw how hard he hit that frigid turf. 1st and 10 after the penalty. Asiata barely getting back to the line of scrimmage, loses a couple. David Harris leading the charge for the Jet defense. Sally, just to get back to Bridgewater, you know, we were at their facility a couple of days ago, and the vibes in that building are that this is their guy. There's no doubt. You listen to Mike Zimmer talk about Bridgewater, and this is a guy in Zimmer who's been around 20 years in the NFL.
That's right.
Has coached against some of the great quarterbacks. He speaks with absolute conviction that he thinks Bridgewater will be great.
Yeah, Zimmer said when he was at Weber State, he would go to BYU and watch Steve Young in practice when he was in college there. He said the ball rarely hit the ground. Every pass was complete in practice. He said it's one of the good signs that a young quarterback is developing and will begin to make plays on Sunday in football games.
Ellison, the tight end in motion. Play action, 2nd and 13. But Bridgewater barely able to get rid of the football with Sheldon Richardson, who had the safety early on. Just barely missing out on his 2nd sack.
Here's Richardson here in the face of the quarterback. He talked about it when we met with him last night. Look at him, swim move, coming inside, pushing the pocket. You get pressure in the face of the quarterback, really nowhere to go. See, Bridgewater wants to climb the pocket and step up. but not with Richardson there. Last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year making his presence known in that backfield of the Vikings.
We had a chance to sit down with Richardson, said he expected Vikings to go his way today with Wilkerson out their second straight game. What a game Richardson has had so far. Third and long, Bridgewater. Pressure coming from every direction. They dump him for another sack. Second time they've gotten to him today. Antonio Allen. There is a penalty marker on the field. Allen, who had just limped off on the last Jet kickoff a moment ago.
Prior to the quarterback being sacked, holding, defense, number 20. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Wow.
And that is Kyle Wilson.
Killing Rex Ryan's defense right now. There's just 2 consecutive third down plays where they made the play to get off the field. And they're going to force a punt, but no. This is watching the slot, right? There's Kyle Wilson right there, grabbing hold of the receiver. That's number 15, Greg Jennings, and now it's a new set of downs for the Vikings.
That's the 3rd defensive holding today against the Jet defense. Asiata able to get to the 45-yard line. Sally, we mentioned all the issues that the Jets have had with their secondary. Kyle Wilson, a kid who they took 29th overall in 2010. If there was ever a year that the Jets needed Wilson to step up and be a player, this was it. And he's just disappointed. There's no way around it. Injured Viking is Charlie Johnson, their 8th-year guard, as the trainers come onto the field.
Now get 50% off all Domino's pizzas when you order online. 50% off sausage pizzas, handmade pan pizzas, even barbecue banana pepper pizzas. If you're into that, this week only get 50% off the menu price of 34 million pizza combinations at Domino's.com.
So, dude, what's up with the kittens? They're super soft. Yeah, but why don't you just wear a Hanes Comfort Blend shirt? It's just as soft as those kittens, but, you know, it's a shirt.
But I got it off Sky Mall.
Try Hanes Comfort Blend. Softness for the whole family.
This is the iPhone 6.
And this is the iPhone 6 Plus.
You know, the new A8 chip is so powerful it brings gaming to the next level. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, if you're into that kind of thing. Watch out for that enemy turret, Kashka!
I got it, Glaive. All right, now let's destroy the Vein Crystal.
Wait, I'm gonna upgrade from Barb Needle to Serpent Mask.
I'm gonna buy some Minion candy, too.
Don't forget an Eclipse Prism.
Why would I want an Eclipse Prism in a situation like this? Stop playing like a noob, Glaive.
Oh, really, Kashka? Like the time you took on Adagio with nothing but some journey boots and a scout trap?
I knew you were gonna bring that up!
Salutations! It's me, Skeletor! Remember the exultation you felt when you got me for the holidays? Well, feel that again with the new Honda CR-V during Happy Honda Days. A rear-view camera comes standard, so you can look out for danger. Now I must go and crush He-Man! Go, clumsy mortals! Get something you'll love at the Happy Honda Days sales event where all 2015 models come standard with a rear-view camera.
CBS Monday. The suspects are above the law.
You accused your best friend of murder. I don't know if I define you as my best friend.
The victims are by the book.
I hope your agents know how to exercise patience.
Sir, yes, sir.
And the team is in the groove.
That's my partner, ladies and gentlemen.
A new NCIS LA. CBS this Monday.
Looks like Charlie Johnson, the Vikings starting guard, got rolled up on. They will cart him into the locker room. We'll get an update as quickly as we can. Former Jet Vladimir Dukas will slide over from the right guard to the left. Jets took him in the second round back in 2010. This is 2nd and 5. Asiata, the 3rd-year runner, brought down just short of the 50 after a pickup of 4. Another look at the injury to Johnson.
Yeah, let's take a look. See there. Is he going to fall right on the back right there, boy. Right on that right ankle. That's where big offensive linemen are most vulnerable.
Sally, you're 300+ pounds and you plant a leg and have someone fall on you like that. That is just so dangerous. And you hope for the best for Johnson. 3rd and short from inside the 49. Little pitch play. Asiata cuts back. 1st down and more. Inside Jet territory, lunges ahead of the 46, 5 yards, and a Vikings 1st down.
Yeah, well, that was a good-looking play. Pitch to Asiata. But watch him. There was a defender there, and watch him just stick that foot in the ground and get vertical. See him tack the line of scrimmage? And you can see Dewan Landry, 26 out there. He can't make the tackle in space. See, he's able to come up, and he gets vertical. It was just good decision in terms of him attacking the line of scrimmage to pick up the 1st down.
Asiata making his 6th start of the season. We mentioned the injury to McKinnon.
On express.
1st and 10. Asiata keeping the pile moving. Close to the Jet 40. Asiata, undrafted out of Utah. Vikings stashed him on their practice squad. His first significant moment came late last season, week 15 against Philly. Adrian Peterson, Toby Gerhart both injured. He scored 3 touchdowns in that game, and he's actually matched that Sally 2 other times. He's had 3 games in 1+ seasons where he's rushed for 3+ touchdowns.
All right, you can see he's been productive, 3.3 yards per carry average, but the 6 rushing touchdowns, that's what's most critical.
Play action from Bridgewater, 2nd and 4, slings it near side, it's caught. Jennings out of bounds, shoved by Walls, 17 yards and another 1st down.
You know, this cold weather is nothing to Greg Jennings. Played in Green Bay, told him Brett Favre kind of helped him understand how you make plays in cold weather games like that. 2 feet down after stabbing that ball. Great handball catcher is Greg Jennings. That right foot, that looks a little close now. They may want to take a look at that one.
No signal yet.
Wow.
And now it looks like the challenge flag has been thrown out by Rex Ryan.
There it is. Worth looking at if you're the Jets.
New York is challenged in the middle of the field of a completed catch inbound.
Was the right foot of Jennings inbound. Stay with us.
Hey, stranger. Remember when you were little and you got us for the holidays?
How about getting another gift this holiday you'll love just as much?
Like this Honda Accord during Happy Honda Days.
It's got Pandora compatibility.
And a rear view camera.
Is that Tex?
My bad, that one's on me.
Get something you'll love at the Happy Honda Days sales event, where all 2015 models come standard with a rear view camera.
At Intel, they have technology you can control with gestures. Like now, she's flying a spaceship to Mars.
We're flying a plane to Detroit.
Intel. This is where it all changes.
Use Chase Freedom at Amazon.com and get 5% cash back this quarter. So you can find the perfect gift for everyone, including you. Activate your 5% cash back at Chase.com/freedom. Chase, so you can.
Instead of mailing everyone my vacation photos, I'm saving a ton of time by posting them to my wall.
Ooh, I like that one.
It's so quick. It's just like my car insurance. I saved 15% in just 15 minutes.
I saved more than that in half the time.
I'd unfriend you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
15 minutes for a quote isn't how it works anymore. With Esurance, 7.5 minutes could save you on car insurance. Welcome to the modern world. Esurance, backed by Allstate. Click or call.
Don't miss Blue Bloods, Friday, only CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Chase Freedom. Get your cash back and activate bonus cash back today. And by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K.
Call on the field, a completed reception by
After
Jennings.
reviewing the play, the rule on the field will stand as a completed catch inbound. 1st down, Minnesota.
Jets will be charged a timeout as we take another look at the right foot of Jennings.
Yeah, I'm not so sure we've got clear visible evidence that he's in or out of bounds, to be honest with you, but they did call it a catch on the field, and so it's just, you know, evidence. Let's see what Mike Carey thinks. Mike, what did you see there?
Yeah, what I saw was that foot hitting right next to the sideline, but you did not see a divot come out of the white. So stands is at least the call there. Great call on the field.
All right, Mike Carey, our officiating expert from New York. Jerome Boger, our referee today. 1st and 10, it counts as a 17-yard pass play between Bridgewater and Jennings. Asiata has been the workhorse, now approaching 50 yards as we take another look at the catch by Jennings.
Now, is it clear and indisputable? I'm not so sure, but you can see where the official is positioned. He's right on top of it. And I agree with Mike Carey The fact that the official was right there was a great call on the field, real time without replay. That's just, I think, a testament to how difficult the job is for these officials and how often they get it right when it's a bang-bang play.
Couple of injury updates. Vikings guard Charlie Johnson, lowered leg. They're saying questionable. And meantime for the Jets, Trevor Riley, a head injury, also questionable to return. 2nd and 9. Bridgewater has time, finds Asiata, who has been their workhorse almost exclusively here in the 3rd quarter. Pick up only a yard, tackled by Kyle Wilson. It'll be 3rd and 8.
And as you look at Teddy Bridgewater go to work here, Spiro, I think it was Greg Jennings who told us, he said, you know, there are a lot of people in the ears of this young quarterback, but even Teddy said that Greg Jennings has become a mentor to him. He said the one thing that's resonated with him in terms of what Greg Jennings has told him, he said, if you see it, it's too late. He said, you've got to feel it. If you wait for it to materialize before your eyes, it's probably going to be too late, and the pass is going to be intercepted.
Bridgewater has orchestrated a long drive, 13th play here. Bridgewater throwing off balance, back foot. Not taking a chance. Jennings, the closest target in the vicinity. Walls on the coverage. And Mike Zimmer will send out his field goal unit.
And I'm sure Rex Ryan is saying, how many times do we have to stop him? They've given him a number of chances on this drive, but as you can see, good pressure from the defense on Teddy Bridgewater, forcing him to throw it away. But most of this drive by the Vikings offense has been aided by way of penalties on the Jets defense.
Here's Blair Walsh, 39 yards. One of the top distance kickers over the last couple of years, and that is no good. He missed it. So the Jets defense getting off the field, and they stay within striking distance in a 3-point game on CBS.
No kids today. Everything needs a battery. Well, hold on now. K Jewelers. Looks like we got us a young man here.
Save 25% on any Citizen watch at K, the #1 jewelry store in America.
That's long enough, son.
Every kiss begins with K.
War is coming.
The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. Rated PG-13.
Gandalf, is this a good place to stand?
December 17th.
And the wolf was huffing and puffing.
Kind of like you sometimes, Grandpa.
Well, when you have COPD, it can be hard to breathe. It can be hard to get air out, which can make it hard to get air in. So I talked to my doctor. She said,
Symbicort could help you breathe better, starting within 5 minutes. Symbicort doesn't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms. Symbicort helps provide significant improvement of your lung function. Symbicort is for COPD, including chronic bronchitis and emphysema. It should not be taken more than twice a day. Symbicort contains formoterol. Medicines like formoterol increase the risk of death from asthma problems. Symbicort may increase your risk of lung infections, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. You should tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it.
Symbicort could mean a day with better breathing. Watch out, piggies.
Symbicort. Breathe better, starting within 5 minutes. Call or go online to learn more about a free prescription offer. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Sylvester!
He's alive, but he's in critical condition.
These people can't get away.
I know we want to get the guys who hurt him, but let's not forget who we are.
Week 14 continues later today on Fox. Then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC. Tomorrow, Monday Night Football on ESPN. Atlanta, hard to believe, right at the top of the NFC South. And a big one for them to close out Week 14. Chris Johnson, tackled by Chad Greenway. Johnson, 8 rushes on the day for just under 30 yards. Jets certainly not as prolific solidly with the ground game as they were last week, but Ivory's had a big day, approaching 70 yards. And this offense has looked, boy, very good. Their best performance in a long, long time.
Well, they're able to score on possessions. And now, if you're Geno Smith, you want to have some of these possessions in with a score by taking it into the end zone and not settling for field goals.
2nd and 11. Smith keeps it underneath to Harvin, a former Viking. Harvin today now over 100 yards receiving. His 4th reception, had the 35-yard touchdown catch earlier.
You said it, they scored on 4 of their last 5 possessions, but on those 4 red zone possessions, they've had to settle for 3 field goals. They fumbled once on one of those red zone possessions. So as good as the offense has been in terms of their ability to move it, now they have to be able to capitalize and finish off some of these drives by punching it in.
Critical 3rd and 2. Powell the lone setback. Bench formation set near side. Play clock down to 2. Geno's going to turn, burn a timeout. That'll be the 2nd for the Jets. They lost 1 on the challenge earlier. So 3:41 to play. Jets down 3. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Thank you for being a sergeant and my mom.
Thank you for helping me follow my dreams.
Thank you, Papa, for being our hero.
Military families are uniquely thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA auto insurance could be one of them. If you're a current or former military member, or their family, get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
It's Straight Talk Wireless, which means you get unlimited talk, text, and data for only $45 a month. No contracts, no surprises.
What about hidden fees?
Nope.
What about funny business?
No.
Bamboozling?
What is bamboozling?
It's like malarkey.
No.
Good.
Same phone, same networks, half the cost. Get a Moto E on America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks. Unlimited talk, text, and data is just $45 a month. The world needs more Straight Talk, only at Walmart.
We are a team bound by blood, grandma's sweaters, and our own imagination. A team that shares our resources and pools our talent, where we each bring something different to the table. And when we've built as far as we can imagine, I see a guy who will always go that extra brick with me. Let's build.
Well, for as well as the Jets' offense has played for the most part, 2nd straight week, Solly, that they have had critical mistakes. The interception, bad snap by Mangold. One of the reasons why they weren't able to get any closer, right now down 3 points.
Well, some of those mistakes have led to points for the opposing team as well. They've got to be able to cut that out here late in the game.
3rd and 2 from the 37. Smith underneath, caught by Harvin. Forward momentum took him to the 40, and that is enough. Make it 45 for a Jet first down.
Percy Harvin has been working over these defensive backs for the Minnesota Vikings all day. He is going to get open, particularly if there's one-on-one man-to-man coverage. I think it just remains to be seen. Can this offensive line hold up and protect Geno Smith from a defensive front that's really known to get pressure on the opposing quarterback? If you're Geno Smith, the ball's got to come out quickly and accurately.
Harvin's best game as a Jet was his 2nd game with New York. Week 9 in Kansas City, 129 yards receiving. This is Chris Johnson. Picks up maybe a yard. Harvin today, 5 catches, 115 yards, and the long touchdown.
Oh, Harvin is one tough cookie. He's not a big guy, but he's hard to tackle. He's got that rare combination of speed and quickness combined with toughness. If you're Marty Morningwig, you're going to use that to your advantage in the offense.
2nd and 8. Keep in mind the Jets are down to their final timeout. Lost one on the challenge by Rex Ryan. And had to burn one a moment ago. Harvin lines up in the slot towards the top of your screen. This is 2nd and 8. Smith feeling the pocket collapse, spinning away. He eludes another set, gets it off to Decker. Decker cuts back, still gone. Down to the 25-yard line on a catch and run by the former Golden Gopher. 29 yards. First down, Jets. Magical play by Smith.
Well, I am impressed with Geno Smith. Look, he feels Everson Griffin coming around the back end. And see, watch him. I think he starts to panic a little soon, but then he recovers. He escapes, get out of the pocket, vision down the field, dumps it off to Decker, who, as you said, knows every inch of this stadium where he played collegiately for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And boy, he's making plays like he did in college here.
Misdirection play. Johnson inching closer to the 20. As we go back to New York in an update, here's JB.
Heads up Cleveland D.
Yeah, talk about making plays. How about the second touchdown of the day for the defense? This one, Justin Gilbert, the first-round pick, takes the interception of Andrew Luck, 23 yards for the return. The Cleveland Browns lead 21-10 as Andrew Luck struggling against this defense.
Back to Spiro Ditas.
All right, guys, all the talk this week in Cleveland about Mike Pettine's decision to stick with the veteran Hoyer, so far paying off. Smith keeps it underneath again on 2nd and 7 to Johnson. They head inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They pick up 8, another Jet first down. Sally, how impressed have you been with what we've seen from Geno Smith?
Very impressed. And even you could see moments when he was clearly under pressure, when he was harassed and hurried. He was able to maintain some poise, didn't turn it over, wasn't careless with the football. Anytime you can see a quarterback keeping that vision down the field and finding receivers while under pressure, that's when you're showing signs of development.
Jets, one of the worst offenses in the league in terms of the percentage of 3 and outs. Haven't had many today. Smith looked like a box play, trying to dance his way to the line of scrimmage. Tom Johnson able to bring him down, no gain, as that takes us to the end of the quarter.
Yeah, that's the end of the third quarter with the score 21-18. We'll return to Minneapolis after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
A powerful day of tradition, pride, and passion. A game of honor, the 115th Army-Navy game. Saturday on CBS.
Johnny Lee Miller and Lucy Liu star in Elementary. CBS Thursday, 10/9 Central.
Push it. Push it. Push it real good. Ooh, baby, baby. Baby, baby.
If you're Salt and Pepper, you tell people to push it.
Push it real good.
It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
I'm pushing it real good.
The all-new head-turning Cadillac ATS Coupe. It's irresistible.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Minneapolis, 21-18 Vikings in front of the Jets. Spiro Ditas, Solomon Wilcots, rest of our CBS crew. TCF Bank Stadium on the campus of the University of Minnesota. Geno Smith has the Jets driving again, 2nd and 10. 9th play of the drive. Smith kicks straight, Decker. Brought down right after the catch. Just short of the 5. Xavier Rhodes, one of their corners. 8 yards through the air. Solid decision time here on 3rd and 2.
Hey, Eric Decker, you know, he says that they're getting close on offense. And this is the kind of plays you want to see happening for this offense. Now, you know, he's got to keep his head up, maybe try to shake that tackle. Kind of kept his head down and made it an easy tackle for Xavier Rhodes.
3rd and 2. Smith's pass deflected high in the air and nearly intercepted. Somehow Griffin unable to corral
Pass is
it.
broken up on
It
the
was
line of
tipped
scrimmage.
by Robinson. And Griffin can't believe it.
How does Griffin not make the catch here? He batted it up. It was tipped, as you said. Take a look here. There it is by Robinson. And then this one just falls right in his lap, and he can't haul it in. Maybe he's going to run for a touchdown. Look at that.
And the difference there, instead of maintaining their 3-point lead, now the Jets have a chance to tie on another chip shot from Folk. He's hit on 3 of 3 today. Low snap. And Folk puts it through from 24 yards out. The Jets back to tie it at 21. As they get awfully lucky on the deflection by Robinson. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
By 1914, the Dodge brothers quit the Ford Motor Company and set out on their own. They believed in more than the assembly line. They believed driving was a holy endeavor. 100 years later, the Dodge brothers' spirit lives on.
Take a deep breath in and exhale. And a gentle wave-like motion. Liberate your spine. Good. And reach, toes blossoming.
Not that great at yoga.
Yeah, but when I slipped a disc, he paid my claim in just 4 days.
4 days?
Yep.
See why speed matters at Aflac.com.
We're making memories today. Come on, everybody say, fa la 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 la.
The Lenovo Yoga 2-in-1. With 4 different modes, there's a new way to make this holiday one to remember. Expert service, unbeatable price, Best Buy.
We spent the holidays together as a Vikings family until the kids went to school, made new friends, and got married. Now we're a Vikings, Eagles, Bengals, Cowboys, Steelers family. NFL Shop, jerseys, gear, and gifts for the whole entire family.
You are watching the NFL on CBS.
Thursday, Larry Fitzgerald in the first place. Arizona Cardinals will square off against the Rams. The playoff chase heating up in the NFC. Thursday night football, Thursday 8 Eastern, live on NFL Network. Back-to-back losses for the Cardinals. And a Rams team that, despite their record, has had some big wins this season.
That team is dangerous. And you know why? They'll beat up your quarterback. Defensively, they're one of the toughest in the National Football League. And they can run the ball as well. If they get good play at quarterback, St. Louis could be a tough out over the next 4 weeks.
Griffin still lamenting that dropped deflection a moment ago. A couple of injury notes to pass along. Sharif Floyd, one of the Vikings' top defensive linemen, will not return. Aggravated that knee injury that he hurt last week. For the Jets, Antonio Allen, hand injury, questionable to return. Trevor Riley, who was dinged, head injury, will not return for the Jets. Cordero Patterson fumbled the kick to start the second half. It comes loose again. This one appeared to come out after contact with the ground. 28 yards. Patterson trying to make something happen. Solly, he has looked awfully shaky.
Yeah, he's going to make something happen.
That the ball carrier was down by contact. First down, Minnesota.
Now, one way or another, something's happening. Yeah, he's got to hold on to the football if he wants good things to happen for his team. You can see hit right there. Elbow makes contact with the ground, then the ball comes out. So the officials got it right. But right now, the Vikings got to get something going on offense. Right now, the Jets have almost twice the amount of total yards on offense here in the second half.
And Patterson, who they took 29th overall in the 2013 draft, he's had an awfully disappointing season. That's the tight end, Kyle Rudolph. Patterson's future looked bright. Solly had that very stellar rookie season a year ago, but he has been overtaken by Charles Johnson. The young man out of Grand Valley State who had a long touchdown reception earlier.
New offense with North Turner. You've got to invest the time. North Turner's offense has been known to send wide receivers and tight ends to Pro Bowls.
First catch by Rudolph a moment ago sets up a 2nd and 4. This is Ben Tate, whom they acquired off waivers from Cleveland a couple of weeks ago. His first carry of the day, 8 yards and a Vikings first down. Sally, one thing about North Turner, once you get into his doghouse, tough to find your way out as he continues to struggle.
Yeah, you can see numbers down from 1 year ago. Again, he's in a new offense, and the number of touchdowns. He has something to contribute. But remember, it was North Turner's offense in Cleveland 1 year ago that made Josh Gordon the league leader in receiving yards. And so North Turner's going to get you the football, but you got to buy in. You have to know the scheme, know where to line up, know where to go, and know how to make plays within the system.
1st and 10 after the run from Tate. The 3rd different running back that Turner has used today. Bridgewater quick strike near side. This is Jennings. Right at the 45, forced out after a pickup of 8. Jennings getting busy here. His 3rd reception, over 30 yards through the air. Forced out of bounds by Phillip Adams.
Well, this is a football team in the Minnesota Vikings. I think as their young quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, continues to develop, there's some promising things happening under their head coach, Mike Zimmer.
Tate stays on the field, draw play. Here he is again. Crosses the 45, ahead close to the 48. And that is enough for a Vikings first down. Jarrett, Jet safety on the tackle.
And I like what I'm seeing, Spiro, the way that the Vikings are responding after the field goal to tie it up. At 21 apiece, they're responding. They're giving their defense some rest. They're converting on 3rd downs, and they're moving the chains with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback.
Vikings keep it on the ground again. Tate cuts back inside Jet territory. Last week, his first appearance with the Vikings. Acquired off waivers, as I mentioned, from Cleveland on November the 19th. Former 2nd-round pick Sally of Houston does have some baggage. Got off to a bad start with the people in Cleveland this year after they gave him the big contract. And they decided to part company. But if he can figure out this offense, what a weapon for North Turner. Double screen, far side. That is Wright, the 3rd-year receiver, 5 yards through the air, as they inch closer to another first down.
And, you know, North Turner, everywhere he's been, he's had that vertical passing attack. Remember, you know, the great Troy Aikman and those teams with Dallas and Phillip Rivers in San Diego. You can see him now incorporating, you know, quick passing game, something that's a little bit different than what he's always done. You can see he's growing, evolving, and I think tailoring the offense to the young quarterback he has in Teddy Bridgewater.
3rd and 1, Bridgewater, far side. It is caught by Rudolph for a Vikings first down. Boy, he made that look easy. It wasn't. Had to turn over the shoulder and go down for the low throw from Bridgewater.
Bridgewater just slings this one. He gets it out there quick, under pressure. And as soon as he turns around, look, this ball's out right now. Really nice hands. Good catch by the big tight end, Kyle Rudolph.
2nd reception of the day, both on this drive. And his 17th catch of the season. 8th play of the drive, 1st and 10 from the Jet 40. Bridgewater play action, flushed out. Ellis getting to him, deep throw near side, incomplete. Charles Johnson covered by Phillip Adams. Boy, what a catch that would have been. What a recovery by Adams.
It was a great recovery because he had him wide open. You're going to see him right here. He's going to come open. And Teddy's now, he's under pressure, so he couldn't throw it when he wanted to, as he has to scramble. See pressure in his face. Now look down the field. Johnson's open, ball hangs out, but look at that. Adams recovers after being initially beat on the double move by Charles Johnson. It's the one where he scored a touchdown. He had to wait on that one. It was the pressure that kept Bridgewater from throwing the ball initially when he was ready to launch it.
So Johnson takes a blow, 2nd and 10, flags whistle to play dead.
Before the snap, first charge timeout, Minnesota.
North Turner wanting to think about it. It's been a fun game to watch. We're tied at 21, early stages of the fourth. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
So you're thinking about a tablet. If you get Amazon's new Fire HD, it's more than a tablet. Because with a free month of Amazon Prime for new members, you can stream over 40,000 movies and TV episodes, listen to over 1 million songs and hundreds of playlists with Amazon Prime Music, and get free 2-day shipping on millions of items. Wow, looks like you've got a lot to do. The new Amazon Fire HD, starting at $99.
There are some people you should give underwear to this holiday. And there are some people you shouldn't. People you should. Shouldn't.
Janice!
Should. Shouldn't. Yes. No. Should. No way. Should. No. Definitely not.
Nah.
You shouldn't give underwear to everybody, but for those you do, give them Fruit of the Loom.
By 1914, the Dodge brothers quit the Ford Motor Company and set out on their own. They believed in more than the assembly line. They believed driving was a holy endeavor. 100 years later, the Dodge brothers' spirit lives on.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Amazon's new Fire HD. Powerful tablet, endless entertainment. Fruit of the Loom. Start happy this holiday. And by the Dodge brothers. 100 years later, their spirit lives on.
A look at the construction site of the new downtown stadium that they say is about 20 months away from completion here. That'll be the new home of the Minnesota Vikings, has folks awfully excited in this town. And a very unique architectural design that we'll get to here in a moment. Ninth play of the drive, Bridgewater from the gun, over the middle, incomplete. Again intended for Johnson. And Sally, that Jet secondary so maligned this season, making some big plays here. That time, Darren Walsh.
Yeah, Walsh was able to defend beautifully on that play, disrupting the release of Johnson. You can see the comparison between the two young quarterbacks, almost identical. Of course, both have thrown interceptions, but you can see Geno Smith's settling in. He does have greater balance. He's got, I think, a better run game to lean on today as a young quarterback. Play-action pass opportunities, but so far both quarterbacks showing very well today.
That pick six by Geno, the difference. 3rd and 10. Bridgewater showing all kinds of mobility, spinning away initially and then finally tracked down by Sheldon Richardson as the Jet defense able to get off the field.
This is good movement by Teddy Bridgewater. Didn't know he was this athletic. It took Richardson making this tackle in space. That saved what would have been a huge gain for Teddy Bridgewater.
So that goes down as the second sack today for Sheldon Richardson, the second-year stud out of Missouri. Had the safety early on as the Vikings now will punt for only the second time today. Blocked the punter out of UCLA. Fair catch signaled by the Jets, and this one will take a Vikings bounce just inside the 5-yard line. Perfectly placed 38-yard punt. Geno Smith onto the field when we come back.
Tell her your love is never ending with an unstoppable love diamond at Zales, the diamond store.
Walmart has the top gifts with the latest technology, like 4K Ultra HD TV.
Check it out, we're tracking Santa.
Amazing picture. Look at the little fella go.
I could watch this all day.
We should do that.
Get the top 100 gifts at unbeatable prices or order online for free shipping by Christmas. Walmart.
AJ Green, he's just like you, except he's in a commercial. Got hands like glue and just bought a 10,000-gallon saltwater fish tank. Otherwise, he do what you do. Drives to work, listens to his music, gets caught up in a wire-based headphone situation. I know you've seen that. So like you, he went and did something about it. Now he walks into work like a boss. Like who? You. There you go, AJ. Exclusive at Verizon.
The way we see it, after a heavy snowfall, you have two options. You can stay inside, or get behind the wheel of the Jeep Grand Cherokee with an available best-in-class 4x4 traction management system to maximize control, giving you confidence in all weather conditions. This is the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever. Well-qualified lessees can lease the 2015 Grand Cherokee Laredo for $369 a month.
This doctor wants to revolutionize the way cancer is treated.
So you're literally watching cancer cells die here.
Correct. What's his plan? Hear it tonight on 60 Minutes.
It's the 50th anniversary of the Holiday Classic in high definition. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, CBS Tuesday.
Geno Smith and the Jets pinned deep inside their own territory. 1st and 10 from inside the 5. This is Chris Johnson doing what he does best, making the initial guy miss, getting close to the 10-yard line. Coming up tomorrow on CBS, the wait is over. Mike and Molly are back. Don't miss the season premiere tomorrow after Two Broke Girls here on CBS. One thing to keep in mind, the Jets down to their final timeout. Lost one on the challenge by Rex Ryan, had to burn one earlier in the quarter. The last 3 possessions have resulted in field goals. 2nd and 5. Smith on the right far side. He's got Decker. It's incomplete. Tight coverage by Rhodes. It'll be 3rd down coming up.
Oh, this is just really good route by Decker. Stay off the boundary, see, so you can fade away. But then he fades us a little bit too much, is not able to haul it in. Xavier Rhodes, though, do a good job. See, he gets his head back around, able to knock the hands down and pry the ball loose from Eric Decker. Good coverage on the route.
Well, Decker, who knows every inch of this stadium, starred here for 4 years as a Golden Gopher. Unable to make the catch. Tough play. It's 3rd and 5. Smith pump fakes, flushed out, he's going to run it, takes a hard hit, short of the 1st down. Josh Robinson laying the wood on Smith after a run of 2.
Geno really wanted that 1st down, willing to sacrifice his body. He saw the 1st down marker and watched 21 Wilson come off coverage. Look at that. And laying a lick on the quarterback, Geno Smith. Quarterback doesn't get out of bounds. He didn't try to protect himself by sliding. Takes a hit.
We've only had 4 total punts in this game. 2nd by Ryan Quigley. Sherrills on the fair catch. Just a 36-yard punt and a short field for the Vikings. Geno sacrificing his body, as Sally pointed out, unable to get the 1st down.
Rated M for mature.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It will beat you to your knees if you let it. Nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
For a limited time, buy Xbox One and get the all-new Assassin's Creed Unity plus Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, all for $349.
So, dude, what's up with the kittens?
They're super soft.
Yeah, but why don't you just wear a Hanes Comfort Blend shirt? It's just as soft as those kittens, but, you know, it's a shirt.
But I got it off Sky Mall.
Try Hanes Comfort Blend. Softness for the whole family.
Introducing the Citi Double Cash Card. It's a cashback win-win. With 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn on purchases, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
If you've ever wondered how you're going to survive another harsh winter, or stay dry from torrential rain showers, or savor the last warm rays of sun, step inside the Jeep Grand Cherokee and wonder no more. This is the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever. Well-qualified lessees can lease the 2015 Grand Cherokee Laredo for $369 a month.
Don't miss the new hit drama, Scorpion. CBS Monday, 9/8 Central.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Macy's. And by Subway Restaurants. Subway is saying thanks this season with $2 subs.
Short field for Teddy Bridgewater. First-round pick out of Louisville. 14 of 20 today if you've just joined us. 162 yards, a touchdown, and the pick on the Hail Mary throw to end the first half. This is Asiata. Short pickup on first down. Their last two possessions, Sally, a lot of yards, but no points to show for it.
Yeah, they've got to be able to manufacture some yards. Remember, 7 of the 21 points had by the Vikings today. Remember, the first 7 came off the interception returned for a touchdown by Gerald Hodges on the first offensive play of the game for the New York Jets. So the Minnesota Vikings offense have to be more productive, particularly here in the second half of the game.
Clock continues to run. We hit the 8-minute mark of the fourth. All tied at 21. 2nd and 11. Jets coming in the blitz. Bridgewater has his man. It's Johnson again. Run out of bounds short of the 30. Marcus Williams there for the tackle. 17 yards and a first down.
All right, Johnson is eating these defensive backs up for the Jets. He's making double moves. He's getting open, as you can see against Marcus Williams. It was a good throw way across the field by Teddy Bridgewater, showing you his arm strength and accuracy. Right now, Johnson having a well of a day, over 100 yards receiving.
And he's done it in only 4 receptions. With a 56-yard touchdown catch earlier. End-around play. This is Jarius Wright. Still going inside the 10 and finally knocked out of bounds. Jaquan Cheer with the safety may have saved the touchdown. 23 yards. It'll be 1st and goal.
And then we're going to see him come around here and then watch the block by Bridgewater to seal the edge. Watch this. He picks up Babin right there. That's enough to get him started and get him to the 2nd level. Well-designed play. But look at the block by Bridgewater. It's effective. Not devastating, but certainly effective.
First trip in the red zone for the Vikings today. Asiata inches close to the 5. Tackled by Damon Harrison and Sheldon Richardson.
North Turner's offense now showing some creativity in terms of their ability to run the ball. You know, Tim talked about it. They would love to have Adrian Peterson back. Doesn't look like that may or may not happen, but to be able to have some creative ways to run the football to help your young quarterback, we just saw it on that reverse play.
Second and goal. Bridgewater's going to run it. Brought down from the back just short of the 1. Excellent recovery. Clock continues to run. It'll be 3rd and goal as we come up on 6 minutes left.
They go empty, and that's when you get the quarterback draw. Because when you go empty, you spread out the formation. Usually no linebackers behind that defensive line. Bridgewater decided to keep it himself. Now 3rd and goal. Let's see what they can come up with. I'm trying to get a matchup with my big tight end, Kyle Rudolph. See if we can get him matched up against a linebacker.
Rudolph at the top of your picture. Meantime, what a play a moment ago by Sheldon Richardson to save the touchdown. 3rd and goal. Bridgewater under pressure. Lofts it to the end zone. Incomplete. Appeared to be inadvertent contact. Jarrett on the coverage of Jennings. Fans want a penalty. They don't get it. 4th and goal.
2 things here. Maybe it's inadvertent, but certainly I think the officials, given the position, they didn't think Greg Jennings could get there. And you'll see him coming across the screen there. See right there. See, he's bumped off, and then now you think he's going to get there to that ball. I think it's questionable, but I'm sure that's the way the officials saw it.
And here's Walsh, their 3rd-year kicker. Missed from 39 earlier. This time is good on the easy chip shot from 20. to give Minnesota a 3-point lead with 5:28 remaining.
Take a look there. Here it is. There's a contact right there. But look where the ball lands. It's out of our screen on that shot. It's a judgment call by the officials, but they were in good position to get a good feel, good read on the play.
Jets secondary today called for 3 holding penalties. That time able to dodge a bullet. Coming up next Sunday, the NFL on CBS features divisional matchups. AFC East, Dolphins, Patriots. Some of you will see the Steelers battle the Falcons or the Broncos and the Chargers in that Wild West. Check your local listings, beginning with the guys, JB, Tony, Bart, Coach, and Boomer on the NFL Today. Spiro Dedes, Solomon Wilcots, rest of our crew here in Minneapolis. Producer Vic Frank, Chris Fenson, rest of the guys, Andy Friedman, Justin Haley, Gary Brown, Rusta Lind, and Rick Skater. 24-21 Vikings. Getting that one timeout for the Jets, looming large, as Harvin is going to play it just inside his own end zone. Dances up the sideline, fumble. Out of bounds. Harvin taking a hard hit, crunched. Jets fortunate again, 21 yards on the return by Harvin.
It's a cold day. The ball is hard and slick. He's hit on that elbow. It looked like Xavier Rhodes. Actually, excuse me, it's Marcus Steele going to come in. Yeah, it was Steele.
Ball could not advance on a fumble, so they'll mark it right at the point of contact and the fumble, just outside the 20. Smith from the gun on 1st and 10. Slings it far side. High pass. It is incomplete. Harvin trying to make the catch in tight quarters. Rhodes on the coverage.
I like the ball placement on this throw, though, from Geno. Look, could be a little lower. Yeah, it was a little high, but certainly giving Harvin a chance to make the catch before Rhodes could close in on it.
Sally, sometimes you just have to tip your cap to the defender. That's a great play by Rhodes.
It really was. Good positioning, good close in coverage.
2nd and 10. Draw play to Ivory. Inching close to the 25, tackled by the safety, Harrison Smith. Sally, just one timeout. How does that change the strategy here with 5 minutes left?
I think you got plenty of time. I think you got to continue to work the run game if you're Marty Morningwig, because that's the soft spot. Now, you got to read the defense. If they're packed in on the line of scrimmage, then you go outside against one-on-one coverage with a single high safety look like what you have here.
Vikings showing blitz, 3rd and 6. Smith under pressure. Somehow gets it out to Johnson. Johnson across the 25. Close to the 30. Needed to get to the 31. Appears to be short, and he is by about a full yard. 5 yards. Pressure coming from Captain Munnerlyn.
All-out blitz. Look, Munnerlyn comes in, and then Johnson just checks loose for the catch and run. It was his job to pick up the blitzing Munnerlyn to that side. He missed them, and so then he just leaked out and figured I might as well go out for a pass and allow Geno to dump it off to me.
Well, the Jets offense was staying on for an extra beat. Morningwig and Rex apparently thought about it. As now the punt team comes on. Just too early to take that kind of risk here. With 4:29 left. Play clock down. Jets barely get it off. Quickly punting. This is Sherrills from inside the 10. Gets a couple of blocks. Springs them forward. Runs out of bounds right at the 30. Penalty flag down at the 21-yard line. 58-yard punt. 19 on the return. Forced out of bounds by Tanner Purdom as we wait the call from Boger. There are 2 flags down.
Illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 57. 10-yard penalty. Minnesota keeps the ball. 1st down.
That's Adi Cole, the man penalized. So they'll mark it back from the 30-yard line. As we take another look at the penalty, you see it right there, bottom of your screen.
Absolutely.
Top of your screen.
Maybe a little acting job there. Didn't look overly egregious.
Sally, this is fun though. Tight game late. Couple of young quarterbacks. Seeing how they navigate through their final stages of this game.
Yeah, you just want to eat clock. What's the best way to do it? Running the football. Now, quick, short bubble screen is equivalent to the same thing. Easy completion keeps the clock going.
Then keep in mind, Jets just one timeout remaining. We'll keep it on the ground. Draw play to Asiata. Over 50 yards rushing. Field position, Solomon, also huge here. You don't want to get pinned back too deep if you're Mike Zimmer and the Vikings.
That's what the penalty does. It pins you deep inside your own territory, and you've got to be able to collect some first downs, gain some room. So if you do have to punt it, the Jets aren't getting the ball right around midfield.
A little extra pushing after that play. Sheldon Richardson jawing at some of those offensive linemen for the Vikings. 2nd and 9 from the 13. Low snap to Bridgewater. He loses the sack. Shuffles that, gets to the line of scrimmage. May have lost the yard. Penalty marker thrown. Sheldon Richardson, who makes the sack. Looks like he's hurt.
Offense, number 75. Half the distance of the goal. Replay, 2nd down.
Well, that's huge. Matt Khalil, the left tackle, they're going to get him. And it puts the Vikings deeper inside their own territory.
Richardson, their young stud, is going to limp his way off the field. Jets already shorthanded without their MVP up front. Muhammad Wilkerson, 2nd straight game he's been on the shelf with the turf toe.
That's where Richardson goes down, number 91.
So they will look at Richardson on the Jet sideline. As you take another look, that's the 2nd penalty today on Khalil, and a very inopportune time here with field position so critical with 3:29 remaining.
And as much as you want the first down here in the 3rd and 9 situation, Teddy Bridgewater, more importantly, has to protect the football. You know, punting isn't the absolute worst thing a turnover is.
Lige Douzable will come on in relief of Richardson, at least for the moment, on 3rd and 9. Bridgewater from the gun, Jets blitzing. Bridgewater's pass will fall incomplete. Demario Davis coming in untouched, forcing Bridgewater into the bad throw.
Look at Davis. He's going to creep here and come right there, unblocked. Matt Asiata reads it wrongly, doesn't pick him up. Free runner at the quarterback means the ball's got to come out. See, Asiata goes inside to get Babbitt, allowing Davis to come free.
Sally, you wonder how Asiata didn't see him. Just never even looked to his direction to the left.
But Babbitt was also coming free, and in pass protection, you're taught to protect inside out. So the most immediate threat is coming from the inside.
Left leg gets the punt away. It's fumbled. And the football still loose. The Jets miraculously fall on the football. Phillip Adams, who made the very impressive defensive play earlier, falls on the football, and the Jets stay alive after the fumble by Curley.
And watch number 32, Anton Exum. He has a chance to get it right there. He overshoots it. You know, every day in practice, particularly the skill position players, you got to spend time working on this fundamental. That right there, the ability to recover that ball, wins or loses a football game.
Boy, Everson Griffin dropped an interception earlier on the deflection. Jets dodge another bullet here. Can they take advantage? Down 3 with 3:13 left. Smith on 1st and 10 finds Decker far side. Decker close to the 34, 5 yards through the air. As the Jets trying to navigate here with just one timeout left.
And they still have the 2-minute warning as well. But right now, And you have to be judicious about when you're going to run it. It'll just eat clock. Right now, the game is going to be in the hands of Geno Smith.
2nd and 5. Draw play to Johnson. Gets close to the 40. Appears to be right at the first down marker. Gerald Hodges, who had the early pick 6 on the tackle, he appears to be just short. Clock continues to run. Jets will try to get one more play off here, at least one more before the 2-minute warning. With those precious seconds ticking away. 3rd and 1. Johnson needed to get to the 39. And now the officials signal first down Jets. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Jets down 3, looking for a road win in frigid Minneapolis. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
What's that?
Subway Big Hot Pastrami.
Pastrami?
No, pastrami.
Pastrami!
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 Pastrami?
Get your own Subway Big Hot Pastrami Melt, a monument to flavor loaded with dry rub, pepper-crusted beef, mustard, and pickles. Subway, eat fresh.
I want the pump. You up?
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That was terrible.
I want the pump. You up?
It's like we're talking to a wall.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of sick game you're playing.
Knock.
Training is hard. Saving is easy. Get a discount double check today.
Happy holidays from Cricket Wireless, where you can get more from our reliable 4G LTE network with a free 4G LTE smartphone after mail-in rebate. It's our gift to you. Or anyone in your family, really. Cricket, something to smile about.
I need music to get more out of every workout. My headphones help me focus and shut out distractions. If it helps me prepare, I'll jump all over it. One more song, one more set, one more win.
All Bose headphones are engineered to make your music sound deep, clear, and full of detail. For the best performance.
Don't just listen to me. Listen for yourself.
Bose, game-changing sound.
It's Lucy and the Chocolate Factory in color for the very first time. Tonight, join Lucy, Ricky, and the whole gang for a special holiday color edition. The I Love Lucy Christmas special.
Merry Christmas, sweetheart.
Plus, Lucy and Ethel as working girls in a classic episode. Lucy for the holidays. CBS tonight.
You see the target line for Nick Folk playing today with that hip flexor injury. 4 for 4 on kicks today. 1st and 10 from just outside the 40. Just one timeout remaining for the Jets. Smith airs it out near side. That's Harvin for the catch. Right at the 50. Sally, this was a drive that started with 3:13 remaining. A lot of time came off the clock before that last Jet play.
Yeah, particularly with those first 2 plays you talked about. They squandered a minute, 13 seconds. Thought they could have went into their hurry-up a little sooner, even before the 2-minute warning.
Clock continues to run. 94 seconds left. 2nd and 1. Smith under pressure. Griffin unable to get him down. Smith escapes again. First down and 11. Flacco all the way down to the 31-yard line. Everson Griffin had him all to himself, and somehow Smith burns him for 18.
Working against DeBrickashaw Ferguson. See, he wasn't able to get a clean hit on the quarterback because DeBrickashaw Ferguson didn't give up on the play.
Boy, Griffin missed on a deflected pick earlier. And what would have been an enormous sack, it's Powell on a nifty little first down run. Clock continues to run. 50 seconds, 1 timeout left.
That play wasn't as easy for Griffin to make with Brickashaw Ferguson still draped on him. Right now, if you're Geno, you've got to start making some completions.
Well within the range of Folk. This is 2nd and 4. Geno's going to take a shot at the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for T.J. Graham. Geno upset with himself, or perhaps with Graham. It'll be 3rd and 4.
You can see he's vocal with Graham. Graham's got to stay outside. He's stopped on the play, Sparrow, and tried to work back underneath. Had he continued to escape outside, see, watch him stop and try to get underneath coverage right there. See, had he stayed outside, continued vertically, could have had himself a touchdown, and that's what Geno is talking about. Geno right now has a good feel for what he wants to do with the football.
Same type of throw earlier on the touchdown pass to Harvin. 3rd and 4. Smith throwing inside the 10, incomplete. Intended for Curley. So 28 seconds left. It was Xavier Rhodes on the coverage. And now Nick Folk on for a potential game-tying field goal.
Watch the vision. He's going to go to Curley. He's going to try to work back to the center of the field as he rolls out. Watch Curley right there. Had him for a second, but look at the recovery by Rhodes to knock the ball down.
Folk has had some big kicks for the Jets. 7 career game winners. This one to tie from 44. He's 4 for 4 today. Spot hold is down, and Folk ties it with 23 seconds left. And keep in mind, Folk was a question mark all week with that hip injury. 5 for 5, ties his career high in makes.
Making good on a really good drive by Geno Smith in the New York Jets offense to set Folk up for the game-tying field goal. Can't say enough about what we've seen from Rex Ryan and Marty Morningwig's offense. They've been battled all week long as the coach, the coordinator, the entire organization, and for them to come here against a really good defense, a top 10 defense, are the Minnesota Vikings. But that drive was very impressive by Geno Smith and company.
And there is Anton Exum, who appeared to have a recovered fumble, unable to fall on the football. The Jets capitalize as Geno Smith marches him down the field. In just under 3 minutes to tie it at 24.
All on Teddy Bridgewater with 23 seconds to go. And he and his offense making plays, and do they have enough time?
23 seconds remaining. Vikings with 2 timeouts in their back pocket. See where Folk kicks it here. Straight down the center of the field. Vikings have played off a couple of bounces. This is Patterson. Starter step, crosses the 15, past the 20, and brought down at the 21-yard line as 7 precious ticks come off the clock. Another reminder, the Subway postgame show is next. JB, Tony, Bart Boomer, and Coach Cower with all the latest scores and highlights on the Subway postgame show coming up next.
Real quick, Sparrow. You know, Johnson's been really good on the double moves at getting deep in one-on-one coverage against these New York Jets corner. They have been on the double move. They've had opportunities. He scored a touchdown on one of them with 2 timeouts left for the Vikings. You have an opportunity to take a shot down the field and still call timeout.
Teddy Bridgewater a week removed from his best performance as a rookie last week. The home win over the Panthers. Only his 9th career start. Sitting at 4 and 4. 1st and 10, Bridgewater. He leads the sack, throws up the field. It is no signal yet. Wright battling Walls, and they say Wright with the catch for the Vikings. Penalty marker is thrown. Boy, Sally, you thought for a moment Walls had it for the pick. Wright somehow the catch.
Luke's zone defense, number 91. That penalty is declined. 1st down.
28-yard pass play. What a play by Wright.
You knew this ball was caught by someone. You didn't know if it was intercepted or if it's a reception by Wright, but he's able to wrestle the ball away from the defender, comes down with it. Quick timeout. Clock stops with 9 seconds to go. They still have a timeout in their back pocket, but 9 seconds maybe gives you a chance for one play, and you better call the timeout quick if you're going to set up for a field goal.
You saw the career long for Blair Walsh, 56 yards. Still outside of that range considerably here. The target line is the 37 for Walsh. 7 seconds. 6 over the middle. Bridgewater sliding. Right run by Jennings, and that'll get him much closer. Right at the target line. It looks as though they'll spot it at the 38. 13 yards, and here comes Walsh to attempt a game winner.
Jennings, a 9-year veteran. He knew he had to catch it, and he had to really get going to get to the sideline to get the clock stopped with 3 seconds to go.
Sally, you try to ice him here with your last timeout?
I go ahead and let him kick it. He hadn't had a whole lot of time to warm up. Go ahead and let him kick it. Let the chips fall where they may.
Career long 56 yards. It appears as though Rex will do just that. They'll burn their final timeout.
Their third and final. This is a 30 seconds.
Sally, one thing about Walsh, as you look at it, that last completion one more time.
Yeah, he comes across the formation, and that's where he gets leverage against the defender, Kyle Wilson, who you talked about earlier. Now, here's the reason why I said I wouldn't ice him. Sometimes I think if the kicker has to run out and hurry and kick it.
Yeah, we've seen it backfire.
We've seen it backfire. Now you give him time to get into rhythm and get into thought. So that's just me. You know, Coach Ryan's been at this for quite a long time, and obviously, you know, this is a really good kicker. He's capable of making it when you allow him time to get into rhythm.
Since entering the league in 2012, he has been the best distance kicker on field goals. He's led the league with 17 kicks of 50 plus, and this one not even close.
He appeared to rush himself. Blair Walsh, not even close, as you mentioned, pushed it to the right, and they're saying this ball live. Now they blow the whistle. We're going into overtime.
So that will take us to the end of regulation. A 44-yard field goal by Nick Folk ties it. Walsh unable to convert from 56. And that will take us to the extra session here in Minneapolis.
There's the hold. Did he get it down cleanly? Oh, I'm not so sure.
Jeff Locke, their punter.
There it is.
The holder on the play.
Just pushed it, didn't he?
Wonder if he may have lost his footing a bit, did Walsh. Now, we mentioned earlier that it's a frigid field here. They do have the heating coils underneath the artificial surface here. That keeps the field at around 50 degrees. And so Mike Zimmer looks on. So the 15 minutes will be put on the clock here for the overtime rules. A touchdown or a safety on the first possession wins the game.
All right, captains, let me explain the overtime rules. We will play one 15-minute overtime period. Each team will have an opportunity to possess the ball unless the team that receives the opening kickoff scores a touchdown or the team that is initially on defense scores a safety. All replay challenges will come from the replay booth. Fourth quarter timing rules will be in effect. Each team will get 2 timeouts. If at the end of the 15-minute period the score is still tied, it will be declared a tie. Okay? New York, you still get to call the coin toss this evening. Red H is heads. The NFL logo is tails.
Tails.
The Jets have chosen tails. And it's tails. They want the ball. Okay. New York has won the overtime toss and will receive. Let's have a great overtime period.
All right, so that sets the stage. Jets will have it when we come back. Start overtime. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
It was the night before, as the people of this little Belgian town waited for the crowning moment. Nature had other plans. But with the help of the masters of the Artois Brewery, a new star was born. Stella Artois, originally brewed as a beautiful holiday gift for the people of living Belgium.
Instead of mailing everyone my vacation photos, I'm saving a ton of time by posting them to my wall.
Ooh, I like that one.
It's so quick. It's just like my car insurance. I saved 15% in just 15 minutes.
I saved more than that in half the time.
I'd unfriend you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
15 minutes for a quote isn't how it works anymore. With Esurance, 7.5 minutes could save you on car insurance. Welcome to the modern world. Esurance, backed by Allstate. Click or call.
We are a team bound by blood, grandma's sweaters, and our own imagination. A team that shares our resources and pools our talent, where we each bring something different to the table. And when we've built as far as we can imagine, I see a guy who will always go that extra brick with me. Let's build.
A little late snow here just for added effect as we head to overtime. Temperatures in the low 30s. It feels like 23 when you factor in the wind chill. All tied at 24. Jets will have possession to start overtime. The Vikings are guaranteed a possession unless the Jets score a touchdown or the Vikings get a safety, which would end the game in their favor. C.J. Graham takes a knee. Geno will come onto the field from the 20. 1 week after returning to a starting role last week in the 3-point loss to Miami. Nice little satisfaction result this would be if he can pull it out on the road.
Yeah, and on the Jets' last offensive possession, Geno Smith led his team down the field to get the game-tying field goal. He's played very well today. Besides the very first pass attempt of the game, which was intercepted in return for a touchdown.
Chris Johnson cuts back, gets to the 25-yard line. Well, we have seen almost every type of play in this game. Sally mentioned some of the fireworks. As you see Chris Johnson's numbers, we've had a pick six, we've had a safety by Sheldon Richardson, a couple of long touchdown passes by both quarterbacks.
And if you're Marty Morningwig in this situation, you go back to the ground game. Allow it to get the offense in rhythm.
2nd and 5. This is Johnson. Sally, interesting, they've gone away from Ivory, at least for the moment. Ivory has been their best runner today, 73 yards on the ground. Although Johnson now starting to put a nice little game together at over 50 yards running.
Yeah, this offensive line starting to get movement in the run game, as they pretty much have for Marty Morningwig, the offense coordinator, all day long. They've been very effective creating this 3rd and 3 opportunity. You can see they've been very good all day on 3rd down, 7 of 15, simply because they've been good at running the ball on 1st and 2nd down.
Powell, the long setback on 3rd and 3. Smith from the gun, all day to throw. Over the middle, he's got Decker for the first down. Inside Vikings territory to the 47, 27-yard strike from Smith. Injured Viking player appears to be the safety, Robert Blanton.
Coming off the bunch formation, see a line tight, and then he's able to cross field and get underneath 21, Josh Robinson, to be able to make the catch. Decker gets a spin on that ball. Very impressed with the way that the offense was able to click on that play.
Blanton, the 3rd-year safety, former 5th-round pick out of Notre Dame, has to crawl to the Viking sideline.
And right now, this offense for Marty Morningwig, Spiro, over 400 yards total offense for the New York Jets. Again, getting it done today against a top 10 ranked defense in the Minnesota Vikings.
First time this season that Eric Decker has gone over 75 yards receiving in what has been his best statistical game of the season. 1st and 10 from the 47. Ivory back on the field, Smith from the gun. Draw play, Ivory. He is met by Griffin, no gain. Barely able to get to the line of scrimmage.
The ability to get stops for the Minnesota Vikings defense, I think, is predicated on making plays like what you just saw. Slam the door shut on the Jets running game on 1st and 2nd down. And as we said at the top of the game, put it on Geno. Force him to have to make plays on 3rd and long, but you got to get stops on 1st and 2nd downs.
We welcome our new audience that has just joined us in overtime. Opening possession, a touchdown here for the Jets. Wins it. 2nd and 10, Smith. Pocket collapses. Appeared to be a face mask on the play. Smith is going to run it out of bounds. Just outside the 40. As that clock stops with 12:38 left. Linval Joseph applying the pressure. It has been a wild game right from the start. For those of you that have just joined us, pick 6 thrown by Geno Smith on the very first play from scrimmage. We've seen both quarterbacks, Sally, play very economical football. And the offensive numbers to this point.
The Jets by far winning time of possession, getting many more opportunities to make plays.
Third and 6. Smith under pressure, deflected in the air and incomplete. So the Vikings defense going to get off the field. With just over 12 minutes left in overtime.
Pressure by Captain Munnerlyn, number 24. Forced the early throw from Geno. There you see right there. And then that ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage by Everson Griffin.
Well, Griffin has been so impactful for the Vikings defense all season. Missed a deflected potential interception earlier in the fourth, as this one is downed inside the 10 after a 40-yard punt. We mentioned the fireworks that started Sally on the very first play. Hodges the pick 6.
Hodges gets the Vikings on the board, but then Sheldon Richardson gets his team going with the sack and the safety. And then how about Percy Harvin returning to the team here that he played for 4 years, making plays. Fumble recovery by Felton. Gets another touchdown for the Vikings. Cordero Patterson fumbles, and then the field goal. They come from both teams. Curly fumbles. Vikings can't recover. The Jets maintain possession. They go down for the game-tying field goal for Rex Ryan. And you can see Walsh had an opportunity at the end of regulation. He misses. That's why we're locked up at 24 apiece.
Walsh today just 1 of 3 field goals. That last miss at the end of the fourth from 56 yards. This is Matt Asiata, a third-year running back out of Utah. And this is what it looks like. The 2 passing touchdowns, both long strikes by these 2 young quarterbacks.
The defenses are getting in on it, returning an interception for a touchdown. Get a safety, fumble recovery for a touchdown as well. And now that both teams have possessed the ball here in overtime, the first team scores, Spiro, they're going to win the ball game.
At this point, sudden death. 2nd and 8 from inside the 10. Bridgewater has time, dumps it underneath. That's Asiata. Crosses the 10. Minnesota needing to get to the 18-yard line, tackled by David Harris.
And the lack of good field position has hurt Mike Zimmer's team here in the fourth quarter. On their previous possession, remember, they were pinned deep inside their end zone, really could not get the offense going. Now they find themselves 3rd and 5 inside their own 15-yard line. And again, more than anything, got to be careful with what you do with the football. The only thing worse than a punt is a turnover.
Vikings at 5 and 7, still mathematically in playoff contention. But they need a win here against the Jets. 3rd and 5. Quick throw far side. This is Wright. First down and more. Only Richardson to beat. Wright will score. And the Minnesota Vikings win it on an 87-yard catch and run to Jarius Wright.
Sometimes plays turn out better than what you had designed it for. This is just going to be an easy completion on 3rd down for Teddy Bridgewater. It's what the coordinator, Norv Turner, wanted. Just a quick throw out to Wright, but Wright does the rest because he breaks tackles. This is going to be him here, and there's Teddy Bridgewater's going to get it over to him. Quick wide receiver screen. Look at the blockers out in front. One missed tackle right there. From there, he's going to run away from the big lineman, Sheldon Richardson, who gives great effort just running that far down the field. It's a walk-off homer for Jarius Wright.
Biggest moment in the 3-year career of Wright, former 4th-round pick out of Arkansas. 87 yards.
And it was Jarrett, 37, who missed the tackle. He was the one who had the opportunity to get Wright on the ground. Once he missed, Wright turned on the Jets and outran the defense for a touchdown.
Vikings dimming playoff hopes, staying alive. And for the Jets, a season of frustration continues as they fall to 2-11.
How about Wright? With that catch and run, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the day. Charles Johnson also over 100 yards receiving. They've made plays for their young quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, and what a duel between he and Geno Smith here in Minneapolis.
Subway postgame show is next. For Solomon Wilcots, our entire CBS crew, Spiro Dita saying so long from Minneapolis. You've been watching the NFL on CBS. We'll send you to James Brown in New York after this.
Salt and pepper, you tell people to push it. Push it real good. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
I'm pushing it real good.
CBS Sports presents the Geico Play of the Day.
On the final play of the third quarter, Cincinnati quarterback Andy Dalton throws a deep pass connecting with A.J. Green. He outruns Ike Taylor for the 81-yard touchdown. Green set a new career high in receiving yards, going over 200 yards in the game. And that score put the Bengals up 21-17 over the Steelers.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
For centuries, man has sought to combine incredible things. Cavemen combined fire with dead animals. Romans mixed togas with parties. Now DraftKings.com combines one-day fantasy sports with $10 million. DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires.
Use promo code CHAMP to play and get free entry in the $10 million Fantasy Football World Championships. Get to DraftKings.com now.
Undercover Boss returns. Season premiere, CBS next Sunday.
Thursday Night Football lives on NFL Network. The playoff chase heats up a primetime showdown.
They ain't gonna give it to us. We gotta go take it.
Larry Fitzgerald and the Cardinals are out to show this is their year.
Streaking to the end zone.
But the Rams are determined to play division spoilers. The run to the playoffs is on NFL Network.
Go Dom!
Cardinals.
To the end zone.
Rams.
And it's caught for a touchdown.
Thursday Night Football. Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Live on NFL Network.
Our business is to find players that can play in the National Football League. And your business is to show us you belong there.
An all-new original series.
I was chosen to play this game. I'm going to play it until I can't play no more.
One shot at a lifelong dream.
I don't do it for me. I do this for my whole family.
A behind-the-scenes look at the struggle to make an NFL roster.
I don't have a plan B. This is it.
Undrafted, an NFL Network original series. Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network.
The Subway postgame show is powered by Subway Restaurants, the official training restaurant of athletes everywhere. Subway, where winners eat.
And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Studio 43 and the Subway postgame show. I'm James Brown, along with Tony Gonzalez, Coach Bill Cowher, Bart Scott, and Boomer Esiason. And we'd like to remind you that you can also catch us online, watch the Subway postgame show at cbssports.com. And coming up next, the CBS Sports Spectacular presents the world's greatest snowmobile racers competing at the AmSoil Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram. That is coming up next here on CBS. Highlights.
And this AFC North battle, I'll tell you right early in the game, it was all Cincinnati. You're going to see Andy Dalton right there faking the handoff, and he's going to go 20 yards for the score. And then Ben Roethlisberger finds Le'Veon Bell out of the backfield. Le'Veon Bell on the day at over 235 total yards, rushing and receiving. But Andy Dalton, he finds A.J. Green. A.J. Green on the day, 11 catches, 224 yards. That was Andy Dalton's second touchdown pass of the day. But again, the story of the game right here, Le'Veon Bell, watch him take this run right here. He had 26 carries, 185 yards, 2 touchdown runs, and then Ben Roethlisberger puts the game away right here. First play, 28-21, finds Martavis Bryant, 94 yards. Ben on the day, 25 of 39, 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. The Pittsburgh Steelers, big second half, win against Cincinnati, big 42-21.
And Bart talked about Le'Veon Bell. Afterwards, he talked with our Jenny Dell.